You passed from DAV Kokripur in 2013 with 91.2 marks. Very high marks, very good. BJP you are PCM B pass kare. Physics chemistry.
Yes, sir.
First division 79.8. RT Women's College, University.
Yes, sir.
Commerce upon first class 75. NIT Raukelara upon development studies you passed.
Yes, sir.
So that is in 2020.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing thereafter?
So post 2020, I was placed in Government of Odisha Mission Shakti Department,
Yes.
Odisha Livelihood Mission. I was working there as a MIS coordinator and young professional in the nutrition project.
Young professional at Odisha
Livelihood Mission.
Livelihood Mission, Nutrition Project, Mission Shakti Department. What is MIS?
Sir, Management Information System.
Information System.
Yes, sir.
So that's right. You worked there for about 3.5 years.
Yeah. No, sir. Around 2 years.
What is
like
OLM office?
Odisha Livelihood Mission
Mission.
Office. Yes.
What is SIRD campus?
State Institute for Rural Development.
Where is it located?
It's in Unit 8, near the...
Right. Please tell me that young professional at Odisha Livelihood Mission.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is, how is the mission program to improve livelihood of which segments of the public, Odisha's people?
So it is mainly focused on rural development, rural livelihood development, and they are the nodal agency for implementing the government schemes that are usually given up by the government in the rural areas.
Do they function through blocks or through?
Yes, sir. They have a state level. They have different tiers. It starts with state, and then they have come to district, and then block, and then finally Gram Panchayat, and it also functions through basically SHGs, women SHGs, as well as normal general
Are the
public.
SHGs continuing under the present government?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It is continuing.
Yes, sir.
So what is the SHGs here, coordination young professional state level? What is this? Livelihood mission.
Yes.
Tell me what is the SHG? Ladies
Yes.
oriented. How it was improving their livelihood?
Sir, the women usually were meant to only do household chores, but apart from the time that they used to get after doing their household chores, they used to do certain things which were, for example, bamboo baskets, agarbattis, and all of these things which were handicraft, and they were being made to sold off through the block level programs over there. So it helped in improving their saving capacity. They were also given loan-free, interest-free loans, so that they could start some kind of new venture as entrepreneurs, rural entrepreneurs, and that's also they used to work on.
So
handicrafts.
market, is there good marketing arrangements made for all this?
Sir, actually, to be very honest, it has recently started now with the OLM Shakti Mission Bazaar and ORMAS, which is also a sister concern of OLM. They used to do the branding for the products that the SHG members used to produce. So and there is a lack in backward forward linkages in this particular
What with linkages
backward.
with what?
So forward linkages as in marketing and then access to market. There is a lack of these particular. There are issues in these particular regions for the products, but the Mission Shakti Bazaar, which is set up now, and there are also various exhibitions that are conducted at state level as well as district level timely, so that people can come there and sell off their products.
Don't you think some of our ladies or women in villages, other than those who are from very backward segments like scheduled caste, etc., who are engaged in actual labor, much labor they do in fields and otherwise, many other women, our household organization is such that the women spend a lot of time in preparing food, looking after the cleaning and this and that, in comparison to in developed areas. Women spend a lot of time in preparing food in our villages and that,
Yes.
cleaning the utensils and this and that. And but in developed society, these things by the mechanization or by other means, societal, the way they eat their food and this and that. Lot of spare time is available so that they can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, in underdeveloped states or maybe developing states, they usually follow traditional methods of doing things, which includes traditional methods of cooking, and because they do not have avenues to spend their time. So it is like a psychology to spend their time only. They do a lot of things which are required, but when it comes to developed places, they have other things to do. So their main motive is to complete the basic things and then get on to the other things to complete the secondary activities that they are into. So since they do not have any other scope of doing better things, they are indulged in household activities, and also because they follow traditional means to practice the household chores.
Do you think, because why I ask this question is, many women complain, those who are employed, that this household work like child and this and that, senior members from the their own women's senior persons and most males do not help them. They expect them to both work in their workplace and do all this also.
Yes, sir.
That puts a lot of physical and mental strain
Yes,
on
sir.
them. How do you react to this?
So this is basically called as double burden of work on women. So what happens is there is a need of people to understand that domestic chore is not as easy as it seems like. There is a mentality in our people that household work is just work. It's not that important. Neither it is that difficult to manage. But that kind of mindset needs to go out from people's mind.
And also
technologically improvement is very much essential, so that when they get that time, they can also invest into other things, like they can develop their saving habits if they get into SHGs. That will also give them a boost in self-confidence as well as their own self-identity. So yes, sir.
And then you did master degree from this NIT Rayacademy.
Yes, sir.
So, on development studies.
Yes, sir.
That's an engineering institution,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
NIT or so. What is taught there? It's a 2 years course or what?
Yeah, this is a normal PG course, post-graduation course. There are different kinds of subjects which include gender studies, social exclusion, urban and rural governance, social institutions, a lot of subjects like that. So it is a master's, proper master's course, which can also be taken as master's in humanities in development studies. Development studies is the specialization, which is being provided by national institutes like IIT Guwahati, IIT Madras, NIT Rourkela, and Ambedkar University. Other than TIS. TIS also provides the same course, but other than TIS, these are few national institutes that provide it. So,
what do you think of the, in this kind of development areas, many NGOs are active in this.
yes.
Have you have a experience of work of NGOs, and what do you think of their work? Whether they are doing all the way they should function properly, or sometimes they may give rise to unpleasantness and that kind of thing. What do you think?
So as far as my experience is to be concerned, I was working with Pradhan in cooperation with the nutrition project that I was working in with the government. Pradhan. Pradhan is an NGO which functions in rural areas regarding the livelihood. So they employed certain BLRPs, as in block level resource person, in these districts where the nutrition project was ongoing, and they played a very important role in providing hand-holding support to the people present over there, and also in training the community cadre. So, sir, as far as my experience is concerned, sir, I have had a good experience in working with NGOs, though I was not directly in working under them. But in general view, so there is a lack of proper leadership in NGOs. I believe that there's a lack of proper leadership in NGOs and a proper structure which will help in disseminating the work properly in proper district level, block level, and Gram Panchayat level.
So the self-help groups, is it active in Adivasi areas?
Yes, sir, it is.
Some Adivasi groups are also working.
They are working, but mostly these Adivasi groups are consumed within the women SHG self-help groups.
Adivasi groups are what?
Consumed. They are a part of the women SHG groups only.
Yes.
So not separately. They are being. I mean, if they are even if they are separate, they are counted under the women SHG groups.
So how is their performance and what difficulties administrators or field functionaries face in dealing with SSG groups which are in Adivasi area? Because there are several difficulties. One is language. Most people non-Adivasi do not know Adivasi languages, and there may be they may not be very thorough in normal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you think?
So first of all, as you said, language is a major barrier in communication. It becomes a very difficult issue. We have to have a translator over there who communicates with people to make them understand the proper scheme. Second is the connectivity. Connectivity is a major issue to these kind of places. There are no regular buses or public transport systems. So the resource persons, a community cadre to reach from the district headquarter or panchayat to the particular village becomes quite difficult. And also apart from that, Adivasis, they are very much connected to their roots and traditional methods of doing things. So immediate change for them, it becomes difficult for them to accept it. So they are quite slow in accepting the change or the schemes that we bring in for them. So there has to be a balance in providing the scheme as well as looking at what their needs are. So I think, sir, this is
you only spoke about the Adivasis.
Yes, sir.
But that is also an observation from those who know the Adivasis, that those who are going from the so-called mainstream, they want to foist their cultural ideas on the Adivasis instead of learning from them.
That's what they try to impose their own schemes and ideas. That's why they do not accept it.
So
right,
that's why the schemes are not accepted.
Yes.
What do you think it is valid?
Sir, it is true. Yes, sir, it is true. It is true. Because everybody has their own set of mind which they have been following since birth. So immediately going and imposing something from the outside world seems alien to them. That is why they are not very much ready to accept the change. And hence one has to put a lot of efforts in changing their mindset, creating awareness, which will take a lot of time, but it needs to be done with a lot of patience as well as
So it is said that men and women, they are the two wheels of a cart.
Right, sir.
Do you agree with it, or can you justify it?
Yes, sir, I do agree with it. I think, sir, men and women, they are biologically different, as well as so there is a need of both father and mother. If we start from a child, if we take child as a primary unit, there is a requirement of both a father and a mother in the growing up of the child. As well as in our economy, men and women, they are equally important, because women, the concept of nurturing comes from women. So women need to nurture the future of the country, and along with that they can definitely participate in the economic progress. And men, of course, they are into economic line already. So yes, sir, they are equally important in the growth of a nation.
As a civil servant, how can you uplift the standard of living of the women in the society?
Sir, I think the first thing that we need to uplift in a woman is her self-confidence and self-identity of being able to do something better in life other than the household chores, which is lacking in our women. So, sir, apart from the schemes that are being given, that are being done by the government, there are a lot of things that we can do, which includes conducting plays and programs in such places, in such pockets of our state where where the people do not really get connected to the outside world. Plus, they have to be taught the importance of finance. Financial awareness is very much required, financial literacy. Along with that, they also need to be taught the proper usage of technology, because technology is also being misused by people who do not basically understand the actual need of technology. So this is the way we can help in developing the
In our ancient text, it is mentioned that where women are worshipped, there is the place of the divinity.
yes, sir.
How is it?
Sir, in ancient text, women are considered Devi. They are considered the epitome of Shakti, the energy. Women are considered the epitome of energy. Also, in our epics, be it Mahabharata or be it Ramayana, in every epics that we have read, women have always been given a very, very high position in the society. But in contradiction to it, there are certain systems in our religion itself which has tried to demean the identity of a woman, which includes systems like Devadasi system, which is a very exploitative system of dealing with women, and the concepts like I would like to quote an Odia line in it. Jio ghio jette jaldi bida habe, that is better for the so women are usually considered as burden, which was not the case in our history or in our mythology, where women were given utmost place, I mean very high place in our religious texts. Yes.
What is the meaning of the word Satrupa?
So Satrupa means Sahe Rupa Jahara. So this was also the name of the wife of first man on earth, according to Manu Smriti, Rishi Manu. Satrupa was the wife of Rishi Manu.
The most empowered woman.
It is like a person who has 100 forms. A person who has 100 forms,
Like
Satrupa.
some of them.
Sir, maybe somebody who can be an influential person, plus be a nurturer, plus be happy at times, and be as much as assertive as a person can be when required. So yes, sir. So there are like few.
So who is Dayanand?
Dayanand?
Dayanand Saraswati. You have passed from DA.
Yes, sir. Sir, he was a saint, mostly known as a saint, but he was a social reformist who was against idol worship and the concept of ritualistic rituals in a religion. So he believed in Vedic religion. So he believed in promoting Vedas, which holds the true knowledge for a mankind. That is what he used to
So
do.
as Veda is concerned, what are his messages to the people?
Sir, I am not aware about it. I will read about it. Yes, sir. Go back to the Vedas, right?
A book has written. What is the name of that book?
On Vedas?
No.
By then.
Yes, it is a very well known book.
Sir, I am unable to recall it. I will get back to it.
It's alright. Thank you.
Thank you.
You spoke a lot about women and nurturing and so on. So, don't you think women are already empowered?
So women are empowered, but there is a need of empowering women more, because if we look into, for example, if we look into education, the literacy rate in Odisha as far as NFHS 5 is concerned, it is around 84%, but in that female literacy rate is just 72%. So there is a huge gender gap over here. And also, sir, the amount of violence that women go through, not just domestic but also in social life, the crime against women is also very high as far as Odisha is concerned. Odisha is one amongst the top 5 states where crime against women is very high. So in social aspect also, as well as in political aspect, sir, only 14% of the women, they are represented in legislatures and in Lok Sabha. In Lok Sabha and in our state legislative assembly, only 7%. So there is definitely a gap, and we need to, although 33% reservation has been given, but still we are not being able to reach up to that level. So empowerment is necessary. It is required to.
Great. So your hobby is shooting. You are also, what is that? Defense Secretary.
Commendation award, sir.
Commendation award. Bronze medalist yet? What is that?
National Shooting Championship.
You got National Shooting Championship?
Yes, sir. 2016.
Great. Now,
I'll not mention the name, but there was an article which I came across where one of the former police professional at high ranking has suggested that the crime against women can be solved in many aspects, and one of the suggestions he gave to give shotguns to all the women. What is your opinion?
Sir, I do not believe that a crime can be resolved by going to the way into crime only. It's like an eye for eye makes the whole world blind. So rather than giving every woman a shotgun, it is better that we equip women with self-defense techniques, as well as we work on the mindset of the male population in our country. But violence can never be the solution for violence.
Okay. So optional is sociology. Give me some statistics of malnutrition and poverty in India and Odisha.
Sir, in Odisha, to be specific, there is 20% of stunting amongst children, 0 to 5 years children. 20% of stunting, and wasting is around 23% in Odisha. Women are from 6 up to 60 years of age. 61% of women are anemic, so they do not get proper food. That's the reason they're anemic. And sir, I have this much of, I remember this much of
Can you throw some
data.
light on Durkheim theory on suicide?
Yes, sir. Durkheim suggested that there are 4 types of suicide, which includes altruistic suicide, fatalistic suicide. Sir, I am not able to remember the other 2 suicides.
Thank you.
Okay, now, very pleasant personality.
Thank you, sir.
Well rather in English.
Thank you, sir.
Please, no problem. You are that mission Shakti and what is that mission SSG etc. You are involved with. Please be thorough on that.
Yes, sir.
What you have done and what you have achieved.
Yes,
This
sir.
is under which department? Welfare.
This, sir, earlier it was under Panchayati Raj department. Now it has come under Mission Shakti department.
That is separate department.
Yes, sir.
If you must be familiar with the write-offs in their profile, in their departments or what they have done. Get very thorough.
yes, sir, I
So
get
there will be
that.
a lot of questions that will
Yes.
sure to come in this project.
Right.
So you are from Bhubaneswar,
Yes,
aren't you? Or root sociology background. Say for instance, I am asking you just a question, it can
Yes,
be
sir.
asked. There is a debate between the saying that there is a quote-based limit of 50% on caste-based reservation in
Yes, sir.
education institutions and government jobs. But there is a provision there that after a proper compilation of the data, after a census, if a appropriate
census.
this thing is made out, they can increase it. Now the point is that and no such thing can take place unless the data is available. That's
Yes.
census. Some parties are demanding that there should be caste-based reservation. Some saying no. What is your view on this kind of question? Prepare an answer for this kind
Sir, should I answer?
What do you
Sir, I believe that along with caste-based census, there should be a skill-based data collection. Skill-based, sir.
Skill-based.
Skill.
Skill-based.
Yes, sir. Skill-based data collection. So it will be helpful for the government as well as for the person himself to know about the schemes that the government is giving and the government to recognize.
I asked you about only the demand is nobody is talking about skill-based reservation. They are talking about only caste-based reservation. Do you agree with that? Not go further.
Sir, that's okay. Yes, sir. I will work on it, sir.
So, what is your view whether there should be caste-based reservation? You can have,
Caste-based. Yes, sir. I'll have to read about it.
then the skill-based is what skill?
Yes,
Which
sir.
one is a modern skill? Which one is traditional skill? So many things will
Come up. Right.
So here it is. Answers should be something like this. One is that it should be according to those who are against the caste-based reservation, the feeling that it will do no good to the national, unity
and integration.
Those who are demanding caste-based reservation, they will say that many groups will be distinct.
Benefited.
This side argument that Ambedkar has in the debate in Constituent Assembly projected 40 years as a limit to caste-based reservation.
Right, sir.
But this is going on increasing. So
Increasing.
what happens to the equality clause of the Constitution,
Right.
1516 of the article of the Constitution?
Right.
Unending topic, depending on their own personal predilections, people will give a
Right.
comment. So these are the views. So you can say that further studies and further discussions or judicial pronouncements are required to reach a conclusion in this without giving a comment on, because this can be controversial.
Controversial.
This will be
Right.
my
Right. Right, sir.
this thing, that kind of thing. So